This might just be the most complete MagSafe photography accessory that I've ever used. And in this video, I'm going to show you how it all comes together and a really unique feature that surprised me quite a lot. This is the PGYTECH MagCam 2 phone grip, and this is the MagGlow phone fuel light, which is a separate accessory for this device. It's really cool, and I'm going to show you guys how this all works together in this video. For any time you want to pick one up, there are links in the description with the best price that I could find. And if you haven't yet, please give this video a massive like and subscribe to the channel so we can reach a larger audience. So the first part that you get with this kit is this little MagSafe accessory that attaches on the back of your iPhone, and it has very strong magnets. Now, I wouldn't advise using an iPhone without a case, but just for this video, I thought to demonstrate to you how nice it looks when you put it with an iPhone in this silver color. And it's very thin, as you guys can see, and it has a little kickstand here that allows you to place your iPhone like this, or if you wish, you can place it like that on a phone call or filming yourself. So it's a really nice little neat accessory in itself, but it's not what makes this system tick, it's how it all comes together. So the second part to this system is actually this little phone grip accessory, which makes the iPhone feel like a traditional camera. And the build quality is really quite nice. It's got a little bit of weight to it, and it has this material on the front that gives that like leathery finish, but I think it's made of a false leather, which is plastic, so you shouldn't really have any problems with durability. And on the top here, we actually get a zoom rocker that feels really nice, like a real camera, and a 2-stage button. So you can actually half press and press fully all the way. And it does a few cool different things that we're going to go through a little bit later. It's got a mode dial here that you can switch between different things, which I'll show you how that works. A power on and off button, and another mode option dial here that can do a few other things that's customizable in the software. Looking around the back, what do you see here? Battery. So this phone grip actually has a 3000 milliamp battery inbuilt that can charge your iPhone. But you might be asking, hold up, how can this charge my iPhone? Where's the cable? Well, this device itself charges through USB-C and has a 1/4 inch thread here on the bottom, so you can actually put this onto a stand if you wish. But the way this works is when you combine it with this, it actually clicks in like that, and then it has wireless charging through this device into your iPhone. Now, you can just purchase the MagCam 2 phone grip by itself and be done with it. However, something that I noticed in Malaysia when everyone was offering to take photos of me at any site, they were using these LED fuel lights to improve the image quality at night. And I thought, you know what, this might be a very neat setup, because being MagSafe, it's so easy just to attach and detach without having to stress. And the biggest thing is, when you're traveling, you don't want to be mucking around with screws and building something out unnecessarily. You want it to be quick and convenient. So the way this thing works is that there's two parts. It flips open like this, and it has a USB-C charging port here on the back. This MagSafe ring attaches to the back of the device here and flips open like this, so you can film yourself and have a fuel light, or if you're filming somebody or something, you can have the fuel light go out the front. Now, it's really bright, and what you can do, if you hold the power button on here, it's got different modes. So you've got a cool light, you've got a more brighter cool light, a really bright light, and then you can change to a warmer feel or a kind of mixed color temperature. It's pretty crazy how bright it gets, and I think for night photography, this might be a little bit better to use to compose your photos rather than using the flash. So now that you got your kit built out, but let's say you want to be able to place the camera on maybe a tripod that you're carrying with you, or you've placed it against something like this to take a photo, and you're like, man, how do I take a photo of myself? Well, this part here is actually a Bluetooth remote that can detach, and you can put it in your pocket and take photos this way, which is pretty convenient if you want to do some kind of remote shooting, or if you just want to give yourself a nice angle when you're doing a selfie, and then flick the button on to take the shot in your other hand. So to get the device working on the iPhone, you want to download the PGYTECH app and then jump over here into the settings, scroll down, and you got connect new hardware, and the Bluetooth will pair over between the phone and the device. But in hardware settings, this is where you can customize what the controller actually does. So on the top here, we have the ability to have a custom dial, which is this part here. We've got the mode button and a double click on the mode button. And if we see in the app, you can have it to do different things. In my case, I've got it set to color temperature. I've got the mode button once to switch between the front facing camera and the back facing camera, and then the mode button double click to switch lenses, because you have obviously the zoom rocker that you can use. So if we jump back over into their app specifically and we try to zoom in, you'll see that the app zooms in very simply and easily. And then if we scroll through, you'll see the color temperature change. And obviously you can configure that to functionality that you might like, but I found that with iPhones, you have to kind of set the color temperature a little bit yourself. So that's what I'm using it for. And then if we press the mode button, we're going to switch to the front facing camera. If I press the mode button again, it's going to switch to the back camera. And then if I double click, it's going to switch between the different lenses that are available to me within the app. Their app is actually really good, because not only do you get a whole bunch of cool professional functionality, which is pretty much, I don't think is missing anything. You can do zebras for exposure. You can pretty much see everything you want. You can do these cool little watermarks. But the thing is, you can actually even install your own LUTs. So if you have a LUTs on the computer that you might use in Lightroom or so forth, you actually import it and apply those LUTs automatically to the photos, which is pretty cool. And when you buy this device, you get access to their more like premium functionality within the app, but you can go ahead and download it and just trial it out for yourself. Now, the other interesting part is that when you swipe down like this, you actually get some different looks. So you got built-in Fuji looks, you got these different, old school style stuff that you might want as a creative functionality. Pretty interesting that they're built in, but the app is really, really nice. Like, it works really, really well. Now, the question is that, can this work in other apps? And the answer is yeah, 100%. So if we jump over here into the original iPhone camera app and I use the zoom rocker, you'll see that the ability to zoom in and zoom out is all there. And if I half press, it's going to do the auto exposure and focus. And if I press the whole way, it's going to take the shot. The only difference is when I switch the modes, is going through the different settings on the iPhone down the bottom, because obviously that's how it's paired. And you got the mode button here that's going to switch between the front camera and the back camera. So that functionality is pretty much the same, but I would kind of recommend that you use their app, because that's how you're going to get like the advancedness of a professional camera kind of built all in the one system, which is why I say it's kind of combined hardware and software here, which I don't think any other brand has really built out so far from what I've seen. Now, the only little quirk I found is that you need to enable this zoom functionality in accessibility, and you might have this weird effect where like it does this triple zoom in and you're like, what the heck is going on? But you just have to tap with 3 fingers and it will zoom back out, and that gives you the ability to start using the zoom rocker. So if you have any challenges with that, that might be a fix to that specific problem. And yeah, the app's really cool. Try it out, download it, even if you don't have this, and let me know what you think. Now, I would recommend purchasing a case like this, which is from Alumu, which has a much stronger magnet built into it than what's on the iPhone, because this device also has a super strong magnet. And when you put them together, it creates a very solid connection, meaning when you're walking around with this accessory, your phone's not going to come off in any way or form. And even if you're going to nudge it or knock it, the connection's quite solid, where the inbuilt magnets on iPhones are not as strong and it can slide around a little bit. So I would be recommending something like this And I do have another video if you're interested in this case that I'll have linked down below. But it's very convenient because let's say you're walking around during the day, maybe your battery's getting a little bit low and you're like, man, I want to top up my battery. You can actually just attach this device like this. You got the battery being charged, which is awesome. And then you go, oh man, it's a little bit low light. I want to bump up the brightness a little bit to get a better exposure on my subject that I'm taking. You flick on the light, you know, open up the camera app, bang, take your shot. You know, you can do your zoom out, zoom in, and that's it. Very easy, very quick, very simple. And obviously you can make it as complicated or as advanced as you want. And that's the benefit. Like, you have that option for more complicated setups or very simple setups, but it does get you kind of that same feeling as having a dedicated camera, which I think a lot of people might really like. So if you guys haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and I'll see you guys in another one.